Are considering closing the observation deck of the tower, where a sniper fired more than 100 rounds of ammunition yesterday, killing 13 persons and injuring 33 others. 5 of the injured are reported in critical condition, 7 in serious condition. There were significant developments today in the case of Charles Joseph Whitman. Says Whitman, a 25-year-old architecture student at the university's Student Health Center, March told him he sometimes felt like taking a deer rifle to the tower and shooting people.
Shall I repeat the entire sentence?
Dr. Heatley says he never saw Whitman after that first visit last March, even though he advised the student to make an appointment for the following week and to feel free to consult him at any time. He says treatment must be voluntary on the student's part. The finding is of an autopsy on Whitman's body.
Yes, he had, so I understand that he had complained of severe headaches, at least in his notes.
Says Whitman had asked for the autopsy and notes found at his home, where he killed his wife, and at an Austin luxury apartment where he killed his mother. Miles says police also discovered it has been sent to Dallas for developing, but no results have been announced. Ramon Martinez, Austin police officer who fired several shots at Whitman on the observation deck, was asked about his thoughts moments before the shooting.
I had no thoughts. I was just blank, and I just had a job to do, and that's what I was going out there to do. I had everything else out of my mind. Nothing was in my mind except to do what I was supposed to do.
Did you think you would have to shoot him?
Well, after passing 4 bodies en route up there, I think that he pretty well decided that he'd have to do some shooting.
I had no choice, no alternative but to fire, because I did not know at any time, Mr. Crumb, I stepped around the corner and he'd be shot. And I couldn't give that guy a warning because he might have shot Mr. Crumb if he had come around the corner.
If any of you, as I said this yesterday, but if any of you have been under combat conditions, why, you'll know that combat conditions existed yesterday. And trying to, I'm sure that if you have not actually been in combat, there are those of you who have probably seen movies of persons in combat, and if you can imagine trying to move across an open field, you can imagine how much courage it takes to do that.
Allan Crumb, a civilian worker who joined other officers in their assault on the observation deck, says he waved a towel at the people down below after Whitman had been killed. It had been reported earlier that Whitman waved the towel, indicating he wanted to surrender. Whitman's numerous hunting and camping trips. Newsmen were allowed on the observation deck. They saw where Whitman stuck his weapons through the rain drains, picking off his targets down below. One of the sniper's bullets traveled several blocks and wounded a man standing in front of a barber shop. Arno Ebner, a barber, discussed the incident.
Well, we heard over the radio where a sniper was on the tower and shooting people, so we come out looking like everyone else was out on the street here looking, and it's about 20 minutes later we heard the fire and everything, and we didn't think he could shoot this far. It's a long way down here, so.
How far do you figure?
About 1,000 yards by air, and almost 5 blocks if you walk it. And I just had the binoculars out looking up there, and I couldn't see the fella, and I handed a friend of mine, Billy Snowden, the binoculars, and he was looking through the binoculars, or just about to look through it, when the big explosion went off, and it hit him, and the glass flew, and I turned around and seen the hole here beside me, and I knew he was shooting at us, so we jumped back in the barber shop here, and he said, I'm hit, and we couldn't see any hole in him or wasn't bleeding, and we looked at him for 5 minutes, and finally a little blood spot come out his back there, and we looked there, and there was a hole.
Did Did you come back outside after he was shot?
After he was shot, no, sir. I stayed behind that cement wall. I wasn't about to come back out. That one time was enough.
They will be the rest of the week. This is Jack Brown in Austin.